Welcome back to Chats with Desiree. Thank you again for joining me. Now, I know I've been away for some time, but that's just because I was really busy with work and life. But nevertheless, we're here and we're ready to jump right back into it. So today's topic is Gilbert Syndrome. Remember, this platform is used for education purposes and fun. So we'll jump right into the education part. Gilbert syndrome is an inherited condition where the liver is unable to process a substance called bilirubin properly. In Gilbert syndrome, slightly higher levels than normal of bilirubin is found in the blood. Bilirubin is a yellowish substance found naturally in the blood. It forms as a byproduct of when red blood cells are broken down. People with Gilbert syndrome has a faulty gene in the body, which causes the liver to have problems getting rid of bilirubin in the blood as fast as it should. So normally, when the red blood cells reaches the end of its life cycle, which is 120 days, the hemoglobin, which is a red pigment that carries oxygenated blood into the body, breaks down into bilirubin. The liver then converts the bilirubin into a water-soluble substance which passes into bile. Bile is a fluid that is produced by the liver to help in digestion. Now, if you've ever had an empty stomach and vomited, and you vomited this yellowish content, this is what is bile. So, like I said, the liver converts the bilirubin into a water-soluble substance, which passes into bile and is eventually removed from the body through excretion, waste, which is feces or urine or poo and pee, as we see locally. So basically, the symptoms of Gilbert syndrome is yellowing of the white in your eyes and your skin. People of darker color would probably not see the yellowing of their skin as much, and so they would only tell in the eye. The white of your eyes would turn to yellow. Gilbert syndrome is a very common condition, but because we don't have much people being diagnosed with it, simply because much people are not experiencing the symptoms, then you don't get a proper number or a true factual number of how many people. 1 in 3 people have Gilbert syndrome experience the symptom. So you can have it and you don't know you have it at all. So the symptoms of Gilbert syndrome, as we said earlier, is yellowing of the eyes and skin. And this is only brought about when you have a trigger. People with Gilbert syndrome often find there are certain triggers that can bring about an episode. Episodes are often linked to things that can cause physical or mental stress. So once you're stressed, then you can have a symptom. And then when you have a symptom, then you can have a diagnosis. If you don't have any of these things, then you won't be diagnosed with Gilbert syndrome. And some of the triggers are dehydration, so lack of fluid, hunger, fasting, alcohol, infection, physical exertion, so being tired, being sleep deprived, surgery, or menstruation period in young females, which is linked to why teenagers and people in their 20s are more so being diagnosed with Gilbert syndrome. Diagnosing Gilbert syndrome. So diagnosis of Gilbert syndrome can be through liver function tests. So you do a blood test and they check your liver. This will show if your liver is functioning normal, so all the factors in your liver is working, but then you have a high bilirubin, then most likely you have Gilbert syndrome. Another way of diagnosing it can be through doing a gene test, because if you have that faulty gene, you have Gilbert syndrome. Now, the reason I chose to speak about Gilbert syndrome is because I was diagnosed as in my early 20s. I was in nursing school, I had a 2-year-old, and I was doing it all. I started having symptoms and went to see the doctor. Now, because I was scared, I was young, and you're a nurse, you're being taught all these new diseases and all these conditions, and so now you were scared. And I had a really good doctor who made me do all the testing. So I did ultrasounds, I did x-rays, I did all the blood tests, I did cancer markers, because he just wanted me to see that there was nothing physically wrong with me. It was just having this syndrome. And he was really good in explaining everything. And so, yeah, I had that diagnosis in my early 20s. I was really stressed, as I said, so I was experiencing the symptoms. My eyes was yellow, my nails were yellow, my skin was yellow. And so, obviously you're new to this and you're seeing all this and you're experiencing this. I was not eating, I wasn't drinking well, I wasn't sleeping, because you're a nursing student and you wanted to get everything. You wanted to get your hours in, you wanted to get your training in, you wanted to get all your stuff right. And I had a 2-year-old, I had to take him to school, I was a very, very, very busy young adult. And so when I started coming about with symptoms, like I said, I saw a doctor and he was really good in diagnosing it and making me see that it's fine. So I chose to do this topic today because yes, I'm living with it. I have had episodes of flare up because I was doing night shifts and I wasn't sleeping, obviously, and during the day I couldn't sleep either, and I wasn't eating because you're a nurse. Most of the nurses would understand that you miss a lot of meals, you're tired, you're overworked, you're dehydrated because you miss drinking water. And so my flare-up started again. I started having the yellowing in my eyes and my hands, and so I had to get that back under control by managing my triggers. So if you're having these symptoms, it could be that you have Gilbert syndrome, which is fine. I would still say see a doctor because it could be also something else. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was sickle cell. I have sickle cell in my family. I thought it was jaundice, and my mind just went all the way out. So yeah, I wanted to raise awareness on Gilbert syndrome just to let you know that it is not something that is life-threatening. Other than that hereditary faulty gene, you cannot acquire Gilbert syndrome by any other means. So it is not due to lifestyle changes or due to environmental factors or due to any other disease condition. It is only acquired through hereditary gene, and that is how you get it. Even if you have hepatitis or if you have liver cirrhosis, you can't get Gilbert syndrome by having these things. So that's how we know it's benign. It's nothing to worry about. You manage your triggers, you continue living a healthy lifestyle, and you should be fine. So raise awareness. If you're experiencing symptoms, you see a doctor, you get it under control, you manage your triggers. I must say, if you're stressed mentally and physically and you're experiencing symptoms, you know that you need to take a step back. So yeah, that is it on Gilbert syndrome. If there's any other information that I missed and you want to put it in, hit me up in the comment section and we can make it a discussion. Thank you again for joining me. Chats with Desiree. I'll see you in the next one.